washer fluid in this the first time, or the last time. Did you do it?
Yeah.
What did you put in it?
I just put in the blue because we were empty.
You can tell the difference.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, there's a major difference.
We were empty and it was all they had.
Completely understandable. I was trying to. I couldn't figure out if it was you or if it was Jim, because I know, like, I went on a trip with Jim.
Well,
it was soon after.
I can't say for sure that it was me. I can say that it was in upstate New York.
Yeah.
You were asleep. I pulled into a gas station because, like, it was actually getting caked up with salt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it's just getting smushed around. And it wasn't snowing, so there's no liquid.
That's
Blue
weird.
shit was all they had, but that might have been December, so it may not have been the last time it was done.
No, because the last time you and I had one of the trips, it was telling us, hey,
Low fluid.
yeah, washer fluid was low. It was either you. I thought it was you. Hi, Ellie. Yes, I am wearing a sleeveless. It's warm down here. How warm is it?
79.
79 degrees.
And super sunny. It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous. Here, we'll show you what the windshields we're talking about.
I don't know if it'll come through on the live, but yeah, it's.
You can see some of the bug guts.
There's bug guts. There are definitely bug guts. Oops.
Sure, let's focus on it, Jay. Why not?
What did I do? What have I done?
I don't know. What did you do?
I don't know. I don't know where the chat went.
Oh.
Oh, there it is. Okay. But beautiful sunny day in southern Mississippi.
Southern or mid?
We had to go and get specific, didn't we?
Oh, we are in southern. Okay.
Delta, Mississippi.
Yeah, we're in the Mississippi Delta area. It has been an interesting trip so far.
It has.
Do you want to recap while I finish this piece of candy in my mouth?
Yeah. Well, I'm not the one who picked the time to start the live and then shoved a piece of candy in my mouth, but sure. Decided to replace profit with interest on this trip, apparently.
We definitely did.
Yeah, so we found ourselves with an excess of downtime, which is something we don't normally get on these trips. Normally we kind of just push through and drive until we get done. And we found ourselves in a position where we had dropped off some cows in eastern Tennessee, and then couldn't do a pickup until
Western Tennessee.
Western Tennessee, and we couldn't do our pickup. That was Thursday, or that was early yesterday morning.
Mm-hmm.
So, Friday morning.
Yep.
We did the drop off.
Yep.
And the next horse that we need to pick up in Arkansas isn't available until tomorrow or until today. So we found ourselves with nearly 24 hours to kill, and we were right outside of Memphis. So we're like, let's go see the Memphis Zoo. And I've got a ton of pictures.
So many pictures, so many video.
And I'll put them together and make a little stinger for Emily to put up for you guys. And it's just been lovely. It's the weather's been great, and there's been no real, like, aside from some crazy drivers inside of Memphis.
Oh my gosh, that was so bad.
Aside from that, it's just been absolutely lovely. The South is beautiful, and the people are lovely, and I've got no real complaints. This morning we found we were trying to pick our route out to where we're going in Arkansas. There was three different routes about the same distance and time. So we just picked one, and it happened to be Route 61, which is Blues Highway that goes along the Mississippi Delta. And if anybody here is a fan of the blues, the Route 61 rather, intersects with Route, what was it, 49?
Yes, 61 and 49.
And that is historically, or at least according to the mythology, the legendary crossroads where Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil to become a blues legend, a blues superstar.
Yeah.
And it worked, so I don't know. But we got to visit there, and there was a little truck stop set up in the gas station, and run by some lovely people, and we got some brisket.
Oh my God,
some mac and cheese, and I was torn because it all looked amazing. There was so much good Southern food just there.
There was chicken, there was ribs, there was brisket, there was
turkey legs,
okra, there was
catfish,
so much food,
breaded shrimp. It was just beautiful.
So many selections. I've already finished my brisket.
I'm still working on it.
Jay's gonna eat his all day long.
Yep. I'm gonna cry when it's gone.
Yeah. So we just kind of kept rolling on down the highway. And
you would say moving right along?
Moving right along. Just happened to drive past a gigantic water tower that I was like, wait. My brain went, there's somebody on that side of that water tower, and it was Kermit the Frog. And then we were on the phone with the lady that we were going down here to Arkansas to pick up her horse, and I went, Jay, look! And Leland, Mississippi is home of Kermit the Frog. And we stopped. I did a loop around, come back around and get a video and pictures of the water tower, because I thought, oh, well, that's cool, we've never seen anything more. Not knowing we're driving right into Leland itself.
And their former Chamber of Commerce, they converted into a mini museum to Kermit the Frog, and it was the birthplace of Jim Henson in 1942.
And so I saw another sign, and I said to Jay, here, grab pictures, because he's a photographer when he's not driving and or sleeping. And
those are the two things that I do.
Pretty good. And I didn't realize it, but it happened to be this museum, and so we pulled in. I was like, we're going. He was like, hells yeah. So we pulled in there, and the lady in there was super knowledgeable of everything Jim Henson in his life, explaining his connections to Leland, Mississippi, and how he was born there and why they were there, and explaining that his grandmother and him had the same birthday, and that she was the genetic creativeness in the family, and talked about how he...
And his dad, well, don't bypass his dad's engineering skill and his dad's technical mind.
Yeah, his dad's technical mind, because he worked for the USDA department.
I definitely need both of those things to make.
Well, that's sure. He built all the puppets, and there was a picture of the original Kermit, the first, Kermit first, or first Kermit?
Kermit the First.
Kermit the First. And that he was made out of his mother's or his wife's clothes and a golf ball cut in half.
Golf ball, yeah. And then the Kermit the Second ended up being a ping pong ball.
Yeah. And she knew Jim's life story, and she knew it really well. Jay also got some video for some of that too. Well, he'll be editing and putting together.
Kind of a tragic story.
It really is a tragic story.
Like a mix of immense success with tragedy and just flawed people being flawed people.
Flawed people are flawed people. But it was super interesting to learn. Jim Henson was so influential. I mean, Jay can explain more about how he's so much more influential than he ever thought he would be. I think I remember her saying that he was afraid he'd always be stuck with all the kid TV shows.
Yeah, because of Sesame Street. The success of Sesame Street had him feeling creatively stuck, that he would only ever be able to make kid shows. And then he broke into The Muppet Show, and The Muppet Show almost failed.
Yeah.
And then it just became an overnight success.
And you made the comment about how if you weren't on The Muppet Show, you weren't somebody.
Yeah, every celebrity was clamoring. They were fighting each other to get on that show.
So...
And then you had Steve Martin go on there like 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah. But that, he had made his mark, and he made his own success, and he had just hit TV TV when TV was brand new. You know, she had said that.
Yeah, right place, right time.
Yeah, he was at definitely right place, right time. He had begged his parents to buy a TV. He nagged them until they bought one. He was 14 when they had their first television.
At the time, there were only 200,000 televisions in the whole country when he got his first TV.
Does Kermit have any hidden meaning?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I can actually answer that just from my own knowledge. No. In fact, one of my favorite clips, and it's something I might put it when I make that video with that bit in there. It comes from Johnny Carson. Jim Henson was on Johnny Carson. Johnny Carson is kind of like, he leans in and he asks him, so what do you like? He's holding Kermit, and he's like, this is Kermit. This is the original Kermit. He goes, this is the original Kermit. He goes, how much do you think he's worth? He goes, well, he's about 3 yards of felt, green felt, some red scraps, and a ping pong ball, and some Sharpie. So maybe about $4.50. Which I think it absolutely like captures who Jim Henson was as a person, because the Muppet is a character, but it's only a character because of the life you put into it.
Right.
That's why he was always so insistent on the puppeteers were also the voice actors. They were also like the people who gave life. You didn't just have somebody puppeteering it and then another just random voice providing the voice. If you're gonna run the puppet, you're going to be the puppet. You're gonna be the character. And they were so good at it that you can actually find clips of like professional journalists who have interviewed or worked alongside Muppets.
Yeah.
And they will they will tell you that like within a moment, like the puppeteer will drop below the table.
Yeah.
And then the puppet will pop up. And you think, I'm never going to be able to talk to this puppet and treat it like
another person.
Like a person. And then immediately, like the puppet just starts talking and moving, and suddenly the person below the table stops existing.
Yeah.
To the point where there was one story, I think it was on the Today Show. This clip exists on the internet someplace. They had Fozzie the Bear. They had Fozzie mic'd up. And they were doing like a morning show. Okay. And so they're talking to Fozzie, and Fozzie's mouth is moving. But you're not getting any audio. And they're like, what's the problem? And they go, you forgot to mic him. And he like points. He like, his head like points down at the floor.
You guys honestly missed the hand motions that Jay did for that. It just.
You forgot to mic him.
Yeah. Now I pointed down the bridge because that was the crossover. That was the Mississippi River we crossed over. We're now in Arkansas.
Welcome to Arkansas. 49th in education, but first in our hearts.
Right? Sure. But she explained how the word Muppet came about.
Yes, it's a portmanteau of marionette and puppet.
That's what it was. Marionette.
It sounds like the kind of thing that like anybody could have come up with, but nobody did.
Right. Just him. He came up with that. It was super interesting. It's really a cool story. They had a gift shop on the inside. They had all sorts of Kermit the Frog, Sesame Street. You name it. There was a touch of everything, except there wasn't anything really like memorabilia of Dark Crystal or some of the other ones, but they had pictures on the wall of those.
Yeah, they really kind of like leaned into the Kermit.
Definitely leaned into the Kermit.
They even have like a frog fest.
Yes, they do. She said it's in May. If you're interested, down here in Leland, Mississippi, they combine it with their crawfish fest and one of their agricultural,
which is maybe the most Mississippi thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Our Kermit the Frog Festival is...
A lot of their gift shop items were on their Etsy page, so if you're looking for Kermit the Frog museum stuff, you have to go to Etsy to find it.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely not. Wish. Go ahead.
I was... Hi. There we are. Yeah, I can't see much of the beautiful fields.
No, you don't even get a close glimpse. I know I like to do a lot of the landscape stuff because a lot of the overseas people from Europe don't get to see a lot of America. And I've had some people comment about how they like being able to see some things. Is that straight?
That's definitely not.
That's not. Okay. All right, cool.
I want to step it up. I want to step up the camera game for your lives from the road. I swear I think we could do it.
I'm not saying we can't.
Well, it's just you already your generous benefactors and donors that contribute to your horse's care and things like that. That is where their money deserves to go. So I just need to come up with the green to actually step up the technical side of things.
Right.
It's more just for my hobby anyway, so I'll get around to it.
Yeah, but you are the photography video guy in a lot of different ways.
I did get a new look at that DJI camera, and I want to get it.
Yeah.
I want to get it.
Yeah.
That's $900.
That's a lot of money for a camera.
It is a lot of money, but it's such a good camera. Look at this.
The river is beautiful.
Freaking beautiful. Hang on, I'm gonna pop you guys
Jay's running off with my camera.
Hang on, I'm running away with you. Woo! Can you imagine living just living on the riverfront?
Mississippi River.
Passing by somebody's random smoker trailer.
So it's sunny and 50 degrees in New York, according to Tina, so that's good. So everybody's getting a little bit of sunshine today. Except somebody said it was raining in their part, so that sucks. I'm sorry.
Let me see. It's a lovely day, Elisa.
Hopefully the horses have blankets off at home.
Sam said, hey.
Hi. But, yeah, we didn't plan on making all these stops. It just kind of worked out. I like to be a tourist when I can. What does Ellie say?
Ellie said, I do live on the riverfront.
Kind of.
Tina said, I'd love it until it floods. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. There's a reason those houses are either set back or their bottom floors are probably designed to flood.
Yeah. The cypress trees are so cool.
The cypress don't give a damn.
No, they really don't care.
The cypress said, bring on the water.
They're like, watch this. Hang on, I got you. But I've heard from home. Where are we headed? We're going down to grab a horse out of Fountain Hill, Arkansas. And some of you guys that follow the horse rescues, Fountain Hill is one of the kill pens down here in Arkansas. I've never been there. This is a first for us. And then that one's going to turn around or take it to Massachusetts. Linda Sue, hello. Great photos. I have to attribute the photos to Jay. He took most of them.
Oh, what did you end up posting?
Some of the zoo pictures yesterday.
Okay.
Remember when you were dying out in front of the lodge by the wolves?
I wasn't dying. It was simply a significant amount of perambulation. I had an overdose of perambulation.
His body hurt from walking.
Yeah, what she said. Anyway, yes, we're going down to Fountain Hill to the kill pen and then to bringing that animal up to Massachusetts.
Yeah, and then we have to, on the way back, we're going to Tennessee again, grabbing another horse there, coming back north. Should be back at least by Monday morning. Sunday night would be great. But yeah, we had a great time at the zoo yesterday. having that extra spare time, we checked in, we grabbed a hotel real fast. It wasn't ready for us to check in yet. He says, hey, well, we got a few hours to spend. We had a couple options. His first pick was the IKEA store.
If you've never been to an IKEA store, it is its own experience.
I've never been in an IKEA store. I don't know how many of you guys have been. If you've been, then you probably know the experience of what he's talking about. But
you could spend all day in there and not see everything.
We chose the zoo instead.
Which was the better choice?
It definitely was a better choice. Because it was really cool. And I got to see animals I've never actually seen before.
We got to see a dik-dik.
Which is the world's smallest deer.
In case you didn't know.
Yeah.
And you touched an okapi.
Okapi. It's an okapi. I got to touch the muzzle of an okapi.
A baby okapi. No
yeah,
less.
a youngster. If you don't know what okapi is, they kind of look like a mix between a shrunken giraffe with a zebra and some deer body look to it. They're based out of Africa. They're pretty much a jungly, not the plains. And they're generally very shy. They keep to themselves. For whatever reason, the youngster was like, yes, I want you to touch me. And he stuck his nose right up to the fence, and I reached over as far as I could reach, and we touched, and it was beautiful because he was so super cute, and he really leaned into it.
He's shoving his nose through the fence.
They feel like velvet. They feel like pure velvet. It was so cool. I was squealing giggly from that one.
You were.
I was. I got to see my very first aardvark. I've never seen an aardvark before. And there's something else I'd never seen.
We got to see a porcupine that I related to way too strongly.
Oh yeah.
This poor guy carried his little corn cob up to the top of his cage and was just gonna like eat it there out of the way of everything, and then he dropped it. And he had to climb all the way back down. And then he got all the way back down, and then he climbed all the way back up, and then he dropped it again.
The Jay wakes up this morning and says to me,
very first thing that comes to my head, and I walk over, I go over to where Emily's sleeping, and I'm like, how do you think that porcupine is doing? You think he ever finished his corn cob?
I was like, oh, that's so sad. You can't say that.
Will you guess already?
No, we got to turn.
Oh.
Hey, we've been to this, Loves.
Have we?
Yeah, this is when we stopped at the last time we came down here.
I don't know. They all look the same.
That's the one that you said had the depressing coffee.
Oh.
And that corn dog roll or sausage
Oh
thing.
My gosh.
That was that one.
I don't know how you remember this stuff.
Because I see it.
That's not how memory works.
That's how my memory works. I see it and I go, oh, hey, I've been here. And this is why, or this is what springs back to my mind about this location.
And yet the way our memories work differently, I had to remember the terrible, depressing meal I had to remember that specific location. And if I remember correctly, that was one of the few Loves that we've been to where neither worker really wanted to be there.
Oh yeah, no,
they were miserable.
She was miserable. She was absolutely miserable. But that's the Loves that I bought my Arkansas Magnet, shot glass, and something else on there for the kids. Why I remember, I don't know why. Why, however, my memory sticks, that's the way it sticks. Blows my mind. So, but I mean, if you've never been to the Memphis Zoo, I absolutely recommend it.
Yeah, it was really a nice. They did a nice job.
They did a beautiful job with it. It is not an all-day thing. So if you have just 4 or 5 hours, maybe even less.
I'd say we saw the whole thing in less than 5 hours.
Yeah, absolutely we did. I mean, we skipped the farm animals, which we don't really need to see the farm animals.
Right.
And we skipped the monkeys because neither of us really have any interest in any sort of primates.
Yep. Plus, we got primates at the Buffalo Zoo.
We have primates at the Buffalo Zoo. But we started out with the bats and the aardvarks, the porcupines.
All the
night animals.
Thank you. The snake house is cool.
The snake house was cool. They did a great job with their snake house, the herpetarium.
Yeah.
They had 3 different kinds of crocs or alligators.
They had red pandas and they were very cute.
Yeah, the red pandas were adorable.
They wouldn't stay still for pictures.
Oh, no.
And the glass was filthy.
Oh, the Chinese deer. Those are the first time I'd ever seen those.
Oh, yeah.
And it's cool because they separate their animals out not by species like a lot of zoos do, but they separate them out by locations, except for the cats. So like all the lions, the tigers, and I'll bet that's more of a food prep type thing than anything else.
Oh, we didn't go in the birdhouse either.
Oh yeah, we didn't go in the birdhouse.
So maybe 6 hours.
Yeah, if you really want to see everything. Yeah. Lions, tigers, 2 different kinds of leopards, jaguars, snow leopard, mountain lions, 3 mountain lions, the caracal.
Yeah.
And I think there's another one I'm forgetting.
You say the jaguar?
Yeah, 2 different types of jaguars because they had
cheetahs. They had
and the cheetahs.
They had the baby giraffes too.
The baby giraffe was adorable.
There was an infant. What do you say? 3 weeks old.
3 weeks old. It's as tall as me, and you guys know I'm 5'10". It's as tall as I am at 3 weeks.
And then last year's adolescent, who was not much bigger.
Not much bigger.
They must take a while to grow.
They do.
What else did I think was pretty cool there?
We had the warthogs, the elephants.
The elephants were cool. I liked how they had like the elephants' habitat, like the dust baths and all. It was very educational.
Yes.
And they had, they actually had people there, like, I don't know if they're volunteers or workers or what. Probably a mix.
Well, they said they were zookeeper chats.
Yeah.
So they probably knew their animals.
Yeah. And they would stand there and like they brought learning stuff. Like the guy near the giraffe cage was like, how many vertebrae do you have? And I'm like 30 something. I was thinking about my whole spine. I don't know. I don't study anatomy. You're the brain. I'm not. I am
the brain on that.
And he's like, no, you got 7, and they're this big, and they're small. And then he brings up this giant like hunk of bone, and he's like, this is one of a giraffe's vertebrae.
And mind you, it's like the size of a ham, like
it's
a big
the size
Christmas
of my forearm.
ham. Yeah, it's huge. And he's explaining that all mammals really have just 7 vertebrae. It just matters how small they are versus how big they are.
Yep. So gangly your neck is. So if somebody says you got a giraffe-like neck, you can say thank you. My vertebrae are robust.
Right. And I told you about the white rhinos. They had a pair of white rhinos.
Yep. You said there are no more in the wild?
Yeah, white rhinos are officially extinct in the wild. The only last living ones left are in zoos and conservation parks. Which is why, that's one of the things that bothers me when people are like, oh, you shouldn't support zoos and stuff. And I'm like, no, you really need to.
Yeah, because they're the last stop before these animals are gone off the planet.
Right.
And sometimes zoos have been responsible for bringing species back.
Yes, they have. Peregrine falcon's a great example of that.
Eagles as well.
There are some amphibians they have done, and a couple other things too. That zoos themselves, just through conservation efforts and careful breeding.
And there's also education and advocacy. You know, like the zoos can speak to. They can humanize. Well, I don't want to say humanize, like when you're talking about animals, but
anthropomorphize.
They can speak to the humanity in us and say, here's this thing that like. Here's this animal that you will never see in your whole life if you don't see it here.
Yeah.
And we can show it to you. We can put it right in front of your face. We can give you something to connect to, and say look, and we can educate you about why this species is important, what its role is, or at least used to be in its original native habitat, and how it contributes to its ecosystem. And usually the animals that we're trying to bring back from extinction, we're the reason they're going extinct.
Yes. Thank you for the stars, Linda.
So, that advocacy really starts and ends in zoos for the majority of people.
Yeah. Bianca, you caught alive. You did. Yeah, and that's why I've always been a huge supporter of zoos and aquariums across the country.
Are there facilities that maybe
there's
don't
crop
operate?
Duster.
Oh yeah, I see them. I don't know. We can't zoom in with this, can we?
Yeah, you can a little bit, but we're gonna get closer, so I'm not really worried about it. There's a plane in the sky. It's a crop duster.
I'm sure that there are facilities that don't operate to ethical, excellence, but like the general concept of zoos in the modern age.
Hang on a second. Loretta, thank you for the stars. You guys have started a star party, so.
Oh, they had gotten forced out of their native habitat. Their normal hunting grounds had been eliminated by urban sprawl.
Yes.
So they can either, like hunt down and euthanize these animals that didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
Or they can give them, something of a new life and bring more public awareness to their... That's cool. He's like dead still in the air. Sorry, we're watching this plane that you guys can't see. Oh. I'm glad you're paying attention.
Yeah. Well, Bianca, I can understand how it's hard for some people where, zoos are... They kind of gnaw at your heart a little bit. It can be, and I understand that. But again... a lot of these animals, zoos have gotten very good at manipulating their environmental cages now. Like, we made a big remark about how the grizzly bear, actually, at Memphis had a beautiful, beautiful environment in his. They kept it very similar to what he would see in the normal wildlife. There's a lazy river, there's a waterfall running.
There was way more enrichment than I would have thought.
A ton of enrichment for him. Like, there was a lot of Christmas trees.
Yeah, they felled
pines,
a bunch of trees.
And there were definitely places where he could dig and look for food or look for things. And they hide things.
I'm going to grab this while you talk.
Yeah. And they were talking with the polar bear about how the enrichment they use with the polar bear and the toys and stuff and the training that they do with these animals, that they interact with them on a daily basis to make them... he's coming our way too, to make it manageable for them to be able to do the vet work with the animals as well. And so it's just very, very interesting. That's cool.
There you go. Got your crop duster.
Crop duster. But a lot of these species would not survive if we didn't have zoos and conservation efforts.
And even the individual animals, you got to remember, it's hard to see a wild animal in captivity, but the other thing to remember is that most of those wild animals would never live to the ages they do.
Yeah.
In the wild. Like, they have no fear, they have no predators or no threats against their life that aren't directly related to their health, like something that, and then, even then, it can be addressed by zoo staff.
Right, but there's a lot of zoos, too, that do rescue.
Yeah.
And they bring the animal back to health, and then they put it back out in the wild.
Yeah, they keep them only as long as it takes to rehabilitate them.
Yeah.
And you can see that a lot more in, like, birds.
Yeah.
Birds get re-released all the time.
Well, SeaWorld does a lot of it, too. When I did my VMX trip down there to Florida. Kristen, we're headed down to the bottom part of Arkansas. We're actually pretty close. We're only 34 miles away. SeaWorld was talking about during the VMX discussion about how they would go to these locations. And the only way they can do it is because they have funding in their conservation efforts. And doing studies on, say, like the orcas in a certain place or seals in a certain location. And they go down there and, like, they were catching seals to be able to get, like, nets and plastic and stuff off of the wild animals to be able to help take care of those ones as well. And so when we have these efforts, it makes a huge difference for even the wild species or the wild populations out in their native habitats.
And it provides an opportunity for hands-on training for field technicians and field medics to work on an animal in a controlled environment.
Yep.
Before they go into the field to deal with the wild habitats.
They were saying about the seal population that they were working with up in New England. Actually, now the whole town is on red alert for if something comes up that they get a hold of, their professional to go out there and take care of the animal.
Wow.
So it's really super cool.
They really are. They really kind of, zoos tend to become like they are the learning colleges. You know,
They are.
That where continuing education happens for people dealing in wildlife rescue, veterinary training, or those professions.
Yep.
Wildlife rehabilitation, all of that stuff. It's an ongoing, ever-evolving,
ever-changing
series of disciplines, and zoos provide the grounds for them to do that.
Yep.
In a way that a college can't.
Yep. And so much has evolved from what people remember, like the roadside zoos with the sad animals in the cages, too.
Yeah, it's not bad. This was not bad.
Not even close.
You do see some animals that do like the kind of circling thing. We noticed that.
The red panda had a little bit of that, and one of the other ones.
The cheetahs were doing it. One of the other cats was doing it, just kind of going in circles.
And it does happen, but a lot of these zoos try to have different levels of enrichment for all of the animals. We were talking about the bats, the night bats. We were talking about what was she feeding them, and I was watching how she was hanging up their feed dishes in a way that would be more normal for them than just like dishes on the ground. They would hang them up on the sides of the walls like they would be eating the fruit in the wild. The environment for the Chinese, was it the heron?
Mm-hmm.
And the otters
with the water and
with the water pond and everything,
water and exactly what they would expect in the wild,
right?
But no predators,
right? So things have evolved, and we made comments to each other about how the Buffalo Zoo at home.
That's not a dotted line, but sure, go ahead.
I'm not in a hurry either. You're asking for a death sentence there, dude.
You could have just waited a quarter mile.
No. I mean, there's a truck oncoming, though, too.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Zoo at home used to have a pretty sad enclosures for the bears. They're very plain, very bland, as old zoo habitats used to.
Yeah. And cement walls and glass.
Right. And they've since modified considerably.
Yeah.
They have just the one polar bear, I think, at this point. And they've done a beautiful job with his enclosure. They've since taken out that, like, Bear Island, and they've changed it. I can't remember what they've changed, a lot of that too, but they put the rainforest in, and so, like, the tropical birds and monkeys get to live in a rainforest type environment. So it's just, it's incredible. The evolution that we've seen in even our just generations of going to zoos and aquariums and stuff. They don't do dolphin shows anymore. Oh, I understand, Bianca. I do. But it's just incredible. I mean, kudos to the zoological societies at this point in time. So I'll continue to go to them and support them. We have our zoo membership through the AZA, through our local zoo. If you do that and you join your local zoos as memberships, you go to another one. Price. You get in at half price. So for the price of one ticket, we got 2 people in. That was pretty cool. But
yeah, and at $28, it's not small beans.
No. That's why I don't feel bad spending money in the gift shop.
Right.
And they're like, "Do you want to round up your change?" I was like, "Absolutely, to save the animals."
Except now they don't take cash anymore for most stuff. Oh my
God, I know it. That was so annoying.
Everything is by card.
Yeah, it was card only in the zoo, and I was like, I wish you would take cash. What was your favorite at the zoo? Oh, I put him on the spot.
All right, so I know I keep going back to this because it is a funny word, but the dik-dik.
The dik-dik.
It was so, like, I've seen pictures of them, and there's, I know that they're small. They're like the size of a small dog, like maybe a bit bigger than a terrier.
Yeah.
But you're just not prepared to see this animal. Oh, what are they doing now? You're not prepared to see this animal that shares a lineage with, like, large loping grazing beasts.
Yeah.
Like moving around like a scared chihuahua. I just wanted to go and hold it and just protect it from the hawks that were flying overhead. The bats were pretty cool. Like, you just, and that was only because we got to go see them when they were doing feeding time. So you just had this lady walking through there, the zookeeper, just walking through, and the bats are just flying all around her, and that was it was cool just to see them do their thing. And the elephant dust baths were neat.
Central Park Zoo when I was a kid was crazy. It was so tiny you could actually touch the animals. I used to sneak in at night and stuff. Nice.
Who's that?
Pat McMahon.
Nice.
One of my followers. Yeah. I've never actually been to Central Park Zoo. That's one that's on my list.
Is it still operating?
I don't know. I think so.
I always thought Central Park was now just a park.
I think Central Park Zoo is... No, it's the Bronx Zoo that's still around. I don't know if the Central Park Zoo is still open or not.
Google it.
I personally love zoos and aquariums. Their aquarium was cool. They had different types of turtles and tropical fish from both Atlantic and Pacific.
They had an African piranha, a single African piranha that was way bigger than I thought it was going to be.
He was huge. I love the seahorses. They're my favorite.
You know where I was confused with the piranha? It's the Amazonian piranha. Those are the guys that are only about as big as your fist.
Yes.
They're about as big as your palm.
Yeah.
I got no internet. You might end up dropping out.
Yeah, I probably will lose you guys at some point here, but I think the further we get down here into Arkansas, the less cell service we have.
Yeah, we're not getting any closer to civilization, that's for sure.
No, we're definitely not.
Where are we moving to?
But, what else was there? There was quite a bit. There was a zebra.
Single zebra.
Though I think there was probably more in the back. See, it's cool because they have their front enclosures. And then they actually had, like, enclosures behind what you saw in their...
For the caretakers.
Yeah, for the caretakers to take care of. And so I think that probably some of the zebras were still inside.
I liked how they took different animals, like, from the same regions and allowed them to share space.
Yes.
That seemed to me, I mean, like, I don't know that that's important or if that's just like an economical use of space, but it just made sense. Like,
yeah.
An animal is not meant to only ever look at others of its kind.
No. Central Park was demolished and a new zoo was opened.
Thank you.
Gotcha. Linda Sue, thank you for the stars again.
Oh, you got 1 bar of 5G.
Yeah, we're cutting in and out. Okay. Alright, because of cell service, I'm going to cut you guys off. And we'll probably catch back up a little bit tomorrow.
Thanks for the stars.
Because I think we're still going to be on the road.
He's so cute.
He is cute. See the little star dance up and down. We'll be back on tomorrow on the road. And I have a topic I want to open up on. So we'll catch you guys a little bit later. Bye, guys.
Bye.